All right. So welcome everybody to a new edition of our Clay Clay workshops, Clay weekly workshops that we cover different topics that are related to GTM and RevOps. With Marcos, we are co-founder of Automate RevOps, in which we offer trainings, we offer also content so you can learn at your own pace, and also we offer a Clay coaching program for those who want to learn about how to use Clay in 6 weeks. Apart from that, today we will cover how to master Clay triggers. So this is a really exciting topic for me. I love triggers. I publish about triggers all the time on LinkedIn. I explore new triggers every week. Um, and of course, I found it really relevant to create a GTM workflow to always assess if it's possible to include a trigger or a sales intent. So we will cover this today. For those who doesn't know anything about triggers, we will also cover some basics and we will also show you some workflows. So the idea here is that you can have a broad vision about how to implement triggers in your company and even how to assess which trigger is better for you to start implementing in your company. We will see different triggers and we will also see how it goes after you select the triggers. What's the next step in Clay? So why would anybody think about implementing a trigger? Well, probably because we all are facing any of those next challenges. The campaigns might be failing to reach prospects that are not at the right moment. So you create a list of leads that you want to reach out to, but most of them told you that they are not ready to buy or they don't even open your email. Generic outreach leads to low engagement and poor conversion rates. That's also a consequence of not targeting leads that are hot or that are looking for a solution actively for your company. And what's even worse is that you are missing critical buying signals that your competitors are not missing it. So probably you have an opportunity to improve your conversion rates there. You're wasting resource on unqualified prospects. If you are managing LinkedIn campaigns, probably you know about the limits of how many connections requests you can send per week. There are really few of them. And if you are wasting those connection requests to leads that are not qualified or not hot, probably you are wasting time. Inefficient manual monitoring processes. Some of sales pros are using triggers, but they are using manual processes to detect those, like going to SalesNav or going to LinkedIn and understand if a company have recently hired someone, or finding job posts manually, and they are wasting loads of time doing that you can automate that. And even having difficulty scaling personalized outreach because you don't automate the trigger-based campaign. So we have a solution for that. That is creating a trigger-based Clay workflow. And in this case, we will cover different workflows ideas. But the thing is that most of you may want to implement a Clay automated workflow for GTM, for lead generation. But you can also create a trigger-based workflow for other purposes as well. The idea here is that we cover everything. We want to cover different possibilities up here, but we won't cover any particular situation in depth because we will cover that in different workshops in the future. So if you want to cover one specific workflow in the future, just leave us your comments on the chat and we will take it into consideration to create the new workshop. So some sales basics to understand why triggers are important. To be able to be effective on a sales process, you need to reach out to the right audience with the right offer, with the right message at the right time. And most of sales professionals only focus on the first three things. I mean, audience, offer, and message. But they forget about right time. And that's because probably 5 years ago, that information about timing were not available as easy as today. And today we have a lot of tools that will help you not only identify the right audience, but when to reach out to them. And that's why you need to start using those tools, because your competitors are already doing that, and you're leaving money on the table if you don't. Okay, so how this works, as easy as this design workflow. I will zoom in a little bit to explain you how a trigger-based campaign works. So hold me there a second. I will share my screen. It's this one.
While David shares the screen, I just want to say that we have a record in attendance, almost 60 people. So we are very, very happy. Thank you for joining, and stay until the end, because we're going to be sharing the clay templates to the ones that stay until, is it like 12 a.m., 12 p.m. EST time? That's right.
So we have a really limited time today. Of course, we will try to cover every questions. So if you have any other question, just leave it on the chat, and Marcos will select the best questions to cover it after the explanation. So we want to see what's a trigger-based workflow, how it works. In a high level, you can see that the first step would be to have a solution, a tracking solution, to identify any trigger that you want to monitor. It can be in Clay. In Clay, you have different triggers that you can use, like job posts, like job changes, like new hires, that are really powerful. But also there are other tools that can be really specific for social media engagement or web visitor detection. So those triggers can also be really powerful for you. We will talk today about how to assess the best tools, how to assess the best triggers, and how to implement it too. And the endpoint would be to send a lead or send a data to a campaign. And this endpoint can be a cold email campaign, a LinkedIn outreach campaign, or can even be a Slack message to your sales team, so they notice when a new opportunity comes up, so they can reach out to them easily. In the middle, we have a process that you should design for your own company. This process, it's not like a process that you can copy paste for every company. You need to customize each process to your company and to your needs. That's why Clay is so powerful, because it gives you the capability to be really in depth in terms of what you need and apply it to your workflow. So you're able to customize each step to your needs and increase the effectivity of those campaigns. So in this case, let's say you want to find job posts that can be a trigger for you if you want to reach out to companies that are hiring for jobs, for sales jobs, because that would be a trigger, that would be a signer for you that the company is growing. So first of all, you can use different tools to detect that, but you can start by using the Clay feature that is really powerful and easy to use. When you select that feature, you will be able to create filters about which job posts you want to cover. So you can use keywords, or you can use locations, or you can use company names to be able to filter down all the triggers that you get from this tool to the Clay table. After you get the triggers, you will identify that some of those won't be as relevant for you as you would like. For instance, you will get some job posts that are from countries that you don't want to reach out to, or from companies that are too big for you to reach out to, or even they are from different industries that you don't want to reach out to. So in those cases, you will need to first understand which is your starting data set. In this case, that you are starting with a job post, you will see, let me show you an example here. We have in here a clay table. I need to share my other screen. Oh no, I'm sharing the clay table, right? Are you seeing the clay table, right? Yeah. Okay, so
Yes, yes.
we have in Apify a connection. So we are scraping from Google for Jobs a list of sales job titles. So in this case, you can see that the starting data set have information about the title that is going to be hired, the location, you have the company name, you have the description of the job title. And in here, you can also have, in some cases, if they need a qualification, the average rate that they paid for it, and any other benefit, and so on. So first, to understand is that you need to assess the data set and understand which data are relevant for you to qualify if this trigger it's going to be successful for you. So if you notice that some information is relevant for that qualification, you can use it. For instance, the company name or the description are really relevant to you to understand if a company is a big company, it's a small company, the industry, the responsibilities of that new position. So you can use that, and you can create a column on Clay to identify if this, for instance, in this case, have a qualification process with an AI column that will score this trigger based on your criteria. So you need to be able to create that prompt, or to create or to define the process first, and then implement it in Clay. But if you don't have enough information here, you will need to enrich further more information. So in this case, I don't have any information about the company, just the name. So I need to enrich that that data using, for instance, Datagma or using a Claygen to be able to scrape more information about the company. So in this case, if I use Datagma for that, I can get information about their locations, their headquarters, the amount of employees, the company size, the revenue of the company, a year they were founded, and so on, and the description of the company. We can use that to further along qualify those companies before enriching further. Why we want to do that? Because you want to create an efficient process. If you spend all your credits or all your AI tokens enriching every trigger that you get, probably you will waste a lot of credits on leads that won't get that won't get qualified for your purposes. So you need to be really efficient on that and try to get the data. If you have the data, then qualify it before further along find their email or find any other data that it is relevant for your purposes. Let's say now we have a list of qualified companies. Now what we want to do is to qualify the company first. If the company is qualified, in this case it's not qualified, but let's assume it is, you need to find employees from these companies. And in this case, you can use Datagma, you can use Apollo, you can even use the find more people feature in Clay to automate the process to every time a new trigger appear on this table and it is a qualified company, it will find for a job title that match your criteria. So let's go back to the design here, to the workflow design. As we saw in the table, you are able to qualify the trigger first. It's important to qualify the trigger. If that trigger doesn't match your criteria, you can store that data or you can delete that data. If you are handling a trigger that has a lot of volume, probably you need to delete the data because Clay tables can handle up to 50,000 rows. So you want to handle that as a lean process. After you find the company, if the company is qualified based on only the company name, that would be okay. Then if it's not a qualified company, you can also store it or delete it. Next step will be to enrich and qualify company. As we can see, we saw on the table that I did with Datagma. You can also do that with Claygen, or you can do that with Apollo. And then after the assessing that the company is qualified, you can find leads. And after finding those leads, you will be able to send those leads to a different table. So there will be a complex workflow that I presented to you. I don't want you to get overwhelmed, just want to show you all the possibilities. And then we will show you other workflows that are really more easy to create. But after having this leads table, you will be able to enrich those leads with LinkedIn information, any contact data that you need. And if you are satisfied with those criteria, if they are qualified, if you have any contact data, then only then you are able to send it to a campaign or a notification in Slack or on email or whatever channel that you are gonna use. So let's break it down a little bit about these trigger levels. If you want to define a trigger to starting with, you can use triggers that are starting with an industry level. I mean, you can scrape news from Google News or from any blog that you know that talks about news about some industries, and use those news to trigger a workflow. There will be an industry trigger level, and in that sense, you will need to find the company as well. Not only you start with an industry, and then you have to create a workflow to find those companies that match that industry or match the criteria that you are finding with the news. Then you have a company trigger level. In that case, you can detect triggers like companies posting for new job search, companies growing, companies publishing about their new expansion plan, companies with recent funding, companies that open a new location. So all those triggers are at the company level, and you will be able to put all the companies in the table, and then you will need to qualify the companies, find leads, and reach leads. And finally, you have a lead trigger level. In this case, it is also called sales intent signals. Those triggers are related to people interacting with LinkedIn content, with webinars, with download white papers of your web page, visiting your web page. All those triggers are at a personal level, and you will need only to enrich and qualify leads. So take this in mind to understand that an industry trigger level will be more complex to develop, and a lead trigger level would be easier to develop. So you can start by creating your leads trigger level first, and when you fully automate that, you can go ahead and increase the complexity of your workflows. So let's go back to the other presentation. I'm going to show you the next step after knowing how it works. That is understanding. Sorry, I have to move this here. Understanding the difference between what we call triggers in particular and what we call sales intent signals. So although we will, in this webinar, we will refer them all as triggers, there is a conceptual difference. That is, triggers are about timing and context and are about at a company level and also an industry level. While intent signals are about personal interest and readiness to buy. So if you are able to monitor both, like a company level and also a leads level, you will be able to create a super powerful workflow. But trying to understand that will help you understand which triggers are better for your purposes. Let's say you already have a website and you have a newsletter in it. So in this case, you can detect with a new subscriber sign up for your newsletter and use that as a trigger, and that would be a signal and a trigger. So it would be a really specific situation that you can use the time when they sign up to reach out to them via a LinkedIn message or via a cold email. So in both cases, it will be way more effective than reaching out to a lead that haven't interacted with any of your content, of course. In the other side, you have triggers that are related to the industry that you can see, like funding announcements, that can be really interesting for you because a company that received funding would have a higher budget to invest in purchasing new tools, subscribing to solutions, hiring services, and so on. Also, a new executive hire will give you a 90 days opportunity to reach out to them, because when a new executive is hired, they spend about 80% of their budget in these 90 days windows. So those are kind of moments that you need to understand and to monitor the company. And if you match a person, a lead that have signed up to your newsletter, and it's on a company that recently received funding, probably you will find a jackpot, you know? So the idea here is that you can try to understand the insights of your industry and your sales process to be able to create a workflow that can be relevant for you. So other examples can be engaging with your competitor or complementary solution social media. For instance, if a lead needs to hire a solution and then it will need your services, for instance, if you provide, as we are offering Clay coaching services, we can monitor people that are following Clay or people that are interacting with Clay content. That would be really relevant. Also, we can monitor our competitors' content and see if people are engaging with their content using tools like Trigify or using tools like Apify. If they subscribe to a webinar on LinkedIn, you can also scrape the data using different tools like Apify or even enrich. If a company have a new job post, you can use tools like Apify or even Clay to be able to detect when those companies are hiring. If they have a new product launch, you can use an RSS feed to detect if any product was published on product launch. So those are just some ideas that you can implement right away and be able to start monitoring these triggers and sales intent signals. In order to categorize these signals and triggers, as you can see on this funnel funnel draw, you will see that for top of the funnel, you can use different triggers and signals than in the bottom of the funnel. I will strongly suggest you to assess your company and try to understand which is your main problem. Is top of the funnel? Are you reaching out to, are you getting enough leads, or you're not converting enough? So if you are not converting enough, probably you can start seeing these triggers that are related to your sales process and send your proposals, faster, create follow-ups that you don't miss. There are different solutions that will help you to increase the effectivity of your sales process, as well as they are solutions that will increase the amount of leads that you can handle. For instance, if you monitor job posts, you will see that this trigger is really a high volume trigger, because if you monitor all the US companies that are hiring for sales jobs, probably you will find there are hundreds of them per day. So you can use that as a way to create an automated lead generation system that can run on autopilot for yourself. And that can be really interesting to start with, because you will have always a system that will reach out to new leads whenever you are sleeping. So it's also interesting to notice that those triggers that are from the top of the funnel, probably they are public, and those that are from your bottom of the funnel are private. So you need to have the correct tools to be able to detect those signals from bottom of the funnel, like the CRM, the Calendly solutions like Calendly, and any other solution that will help you to monitor if a lead interacts with your content or interacts with any of your lead magnets. So the idea here is that you, of course, you will need to be able to assess that and understand which tool will give you the best solution. So there are tools that give you different solutions. We will cover some of them today as well. Okay, let's talk about tools. So we categorize these solutions in 5 different categories. First one is web engagement. That would be if you have a web visitor, there are tools like RB2B or Vector that will help you detect if you have a lead visiting any of your pages on your website. That is really relevant if you have a website that have more than one page and a lot of traffic, because you can monitor pages like the pricing pages, like the subscription page, like the contact page, and those pages will indicate you that that lead is really hot, and you can use that as a sales intent. So that's really powerful if you have a website, an active website with a lot of website traffic. If you're creating content, probably it would be relevant for you to track social media engagement. In that case, you can use tools like Trigify, Phantom Buster, Apify, or Scraping to be able to detect when a lead interacts with your content, with your competitors' content, and you can use that information to qualify leads. You can use that information to, for instance, if you publish a lead magnet, you can create a workflow to send the lead magnet on autopilot when people interact with your content. So there will be some ideas of it. I imagine that you are thinking about your own company and your solution, and that's really clever. You can use different tools, but you need to select the best tool for your purposes, because each tool have a cost for sure. And of course, depending on the company and the amount of volume of the content they are creating, we'll recommend one tool over another. Another category is news, reviews, and blogs. So you can create a trigger based on any blog that you notice that publish information like new product launches, like Product Hunt. You can create an RSS feed using, you can extract their RSS feed into Clay and use that as a trigger. You can also use Google News to monitor keywords or trends that you want to use as a keyword. For instance, you can use that to not only detect industries that would be relevant for you to reach out to, but also trends and content to use on your content calendar. You can also use this Google News to detect new companies that get founded and so on.
About Trigify, we're going to be sharing a discount for our community members, which are all of you. So by the end of the session, we'll share a 10% discount in case you want to use it. We recommend it. We also use Apify, Phantom Buster, depending on the use case. The key difference between Apify and Phantom Buster and Trigify is that Trigify doesn't use your session cookies, so you don't put your LinkedIn account at risk, and you could also scale. That's basically the most sensitive part of using your own account. Yeah, we'll be sharing the recording. There is also another question, David. Adam Woodman is asking us to show more the setup of the trigger, especially the triggers from Google News. Do we have any template, or what are the templates that we are going to show besides the one that we already showed?
Okay, you catch me with one that I don't have prepared to show you today, but the idea here to set up Google News is that you can set an alarm, an alert on Google News. If you go to googlenews.com, you will see that it has a dashboard that you can put any keywords, and it will start sending you emails that those emails you can convert into an RSS feed using killtheemail.com. I think that's the name of it. I will send you the data after this recording for all of you. And after you get the data as an RSS feed, you can go into Clay and use this RSS feed to create a new table. So that's the idea of it. Yeah, there are many tools, like Marcos was saying, Trigify is really powerful because it's safe and you can scale that. But also, there are other triggers that can be relevant for you, like if the company changed their tech stack, probably you can use Buildwidth to detect that. You can use HG Insights to detect any other tech stack of those companies. You can use LinkedIn to detect if a company is hiring. You can also use Play to detect that. And another powerful, really powerful triggers are the ones that you get from your CRM. Like your sales team book a new meeting. Okay, that's a great moment to create a waterfall enrichment or a process to get all the leads data. So you get to the meeting with a prepared research to be able to be fully present and show off to your leads that you know about their problems, the company, and so on. The same applies to Hotspot, and you can also detect moments when a lead gets called after, I don't know, 2 months. If a lead doesn't reply to you or didn't reply to any proposal, probably you can use that also as triggers using your CRM. So there are many ideas that you can cover with those tools. Apify is really powerful because it's a scraping ecosystem in which you are able to connect tools to scrape social media like TikTok, like Instagram, X. You can scrape different data from websites, from LinkedIn ads, Facebook ads. All those triggers can be relevant for you if you are targeting companies that will be relevant for you to monitor if they are running ads because they will investing in marketing, for instance. All right. So how would you define if a trigger is good for you or not? We have created this trigger evaluation polygon that will help you understand if a trigger is effective for you or not. First of all, you need to see if the trigger have a low volume or a high volume. For instance, as I mentioned before, job posting is a high volume trigger because if you monitor like a big place like all the states or all the world, you'll probably see a lot of new job posts every day. So that will give you more leads, more opportunities. Relevance means does it provide this trigger? Does it provide data for personalized messaging for you or not? In some cases, you can use that data to create a personalized message. We don't recommend to use any trigger as an input to create a personalized message because it can feel weird. It can feel like you are stalking him, like you're saying, "Hey, I saw that you comment on this post from my competitor." It's kind of weird that you are doing that. So in those cases, it's better to be like a magician and just surprise the leads, reaching out to the best moment possible without saying that why you find the best time using a trigger. Awareness, it's also like what stage of the problem recognition that it indicates. Some cases a trigger will indicate if a lead is ready to buy. In other cases, will indicate that a lead is starting the buying process. So if a lead is, I don't know, engaging with a content from your competitors or your content, promoting a product or a service, probably it's more ready to buy than one that is, commenting or interacting with a general post about lifestyle. So that's the idea about being able to assess if this trigger will help you understand if the lead is ready to buy or not. Budget means, of course, is this trigger will indicate you that this company or the lead has enough budget. For instance, if they're investing in ads, if they're investing, hiring new people for the company, those are strong indicators that the company is growing and have budget to purchase new solutions. And the impact will timing outreach to this trigger increase effectiveness. So let's say if you are reaching out, if you identify on your buying process that leads that post about a specific problem are ready to buy, and they know that that the next step would be for them to buy, then that would be really impactful for you to use that trigger to close more deals. So every time you are thinking about creating a new trigger-based workflow, think about these 5 variables to assess the trigger before implementing it. So we recommend you to create a list of every potential trigger that you can use and then assess them all and see which one would be better for you to start. Also, I will add another one that would be easily to set up, because if you're starting using Clay or you're starting using triggers, probably it will be better for you to start with the easiest one and then increase the complexity after you dominate each trigger for your company. So let's see some results here.
David,
I will show you some
maybe
tables.
maybe you can lower a little bit the music in the background. Maybe it's there we go.
All right. Okay, that's better. Sorry, didn't notice
Yep.
that we have this chill out music going on the background. Okay, so in our case, we're running different trigger-based campaigns. Some of them are related to things that we can monitor internally, and some of them are from external triggers. The first column is related to connection rate, and the second column is related to reply rate on LinkedIn. Both of them are on LinkedIn. So as you can see in our example, newsletter engagement, it's really, really powerful because people really want to connect with us after they subscribe to our newsletter. So that's a powerful way to reach out to people that are hot leads, and you can even turn them into a sales meeting really fast. Complementary tools followers, that will be relevant for you. Probably if you think about tools or competitors that you know that they offer similar services, you can scrape the followers of those, or you can even scrape Slack members of a community of a tool or a competitor and use them to reach out to them. That's also really powerful because you notice that the lead is aware of your solution, or at least they need a solution in the same field. So that drives us a lot of accepted connection requests, connection rate, a higher connection rate, and also a higher reply rate. Companies hiring, it's also a good trigger to identify companies that needs something specific because they're growing, and these companies trigger, although it's cold, although they don't know us, they don't know our solution, you can infer which kind of problem they have based on what position they are hiring and on their job position description. So in the job position description, mention something about any tool like CRM management or whatever. You can use that to create a trigger and detect those leads in the precise moment they publish the job post. So that's really effective as well. Cold qualified leads are just without triggers, just to show you the example of how you can increase conversion rate just by using triggers. So 21% connection rate compared to 41 or 67, it's not good enough. I mean, right now we're not running those cold qualified leads anymore, like I would say for more than a year, because with those trigger-based campaigns, we are running all our outbound systems. So you can also create those systems for your company and be able to increase your connection request rate and even your message rate, reply rate. Web visitors for ourselves, we didn't find it so effective, although we ran it on autopilot. The thing is that some of the leads that the tool that we use to identify them were not so qualified, and some of them don't even visit our site. So it kind of weird. The solution is not 100% accurate. Um, Also, since our website doesn't have enough traffic, probably that's another problem, because if you have a great, a big website with several pages, that would be really effective if you monitor the pricing page, for instance. But in our case, we're just monitoring the newsletter sign up page, so it's a low
Yeah, we're not getting
volume.
we're not getting the highest value from the solution, but we saw a chat a message in the chat saying that vector is better than RB2B. There's a huge debate
I
on
love
LinkedIn
Vector.
about it. We are currently using Vector, previously used RB2B, and we see that it's performing better. But yeah, curious to know your
It's
experience
also
as
free.
well.
So yeah, there are many tools to do that. So I'm gonna show you some examples of workflows right now. Okay, let me share this. Okay, so this is a newsletter workflow. So we're using a tool that is called MailerLite to manage our newsletter. In this case, we send that data into a Google spreadsheet using MailerLite solution. So it's just something from MailerLite. And then we use Apify to scrape that Google spreadsheet and give us all the data here. That's also a great workaround. If you don't have the Clay Explorer plan, you can use Apify to scrape Google Sheets and use that as a trigger. So any solution that you are using, even Apify, Phantom Buster, will give you the possibility to interact, to send data to Google Spreadsheet. So you can monitor that Google Spreadsheet and save you a lot of money in the Explorer plan, Play Explorer plan. In this case, as you can see, we have the email and we make this sign up process on purpose, just asking the email, because we know that if we ask for more information in our newsletter, the sign up rate will decrease. So we just ask for the email and then enrich any other data using Clay. And this is a really strong workflow because we can use that data that we get from Apollo to qualify the lead based on the location and the job position. And after that, send them to, first check if they are on the blacklist, and then send it to a enrich campaign that will reach out to them. So that would be like a really basic workflow that you can create to start using triggers. Another one would be this one that is related to post pre-meeting workflow. So this is a workflow that we'll explain in another workshop because it's really complex. But I will show you the input here. So we use a tool that's called TDCall to send our leads the possibility to book a meeting with us. And when they book a meeting, we send the data into a spreadsheet as well, and we use Apify to scrape the data and send it to Clay. You can also send the data directly to Clay using Clay webhook, but we send it to spreadsheet first. And in this data, you can ask for more information. I'm sorry, I will show you another example because I think Franco is here. Sorry, Franco. um, you will have the possibility to ask your leads for company website, cell phone number, and any other data that you want to ask in the form to ask for a meeting with you, and use that data to further enrich that lead before going to a meeting, using AI to create a value proposition, to create a personalized report, even to update your CRM that we have Notion as a CRM. We create our own CRM in Notion, and then send a message in Slack with all the data for the sales team to be able to prepare for the meeting before having all the information researched. So that's also a really powerful workflow that is trigger based. Another workflow that can be trigger based is a web visitor workflow. In this case, we're seeing vector data. Vector will give us the data about any web visitor that we have that they detect that is, I think they only cover US for leads data, but then they have also a company visitor level for other countries. So in this case, it gives me the LinkedIn URL of the person, the name, what's the name, Jim. We have here the last name, we have the title, we have the page it visits, and we can use all the data to qualify the lead and then send it to a campaign. So that's the same case here. You can send it to a cold email campaign, you can send it to a LinkedIn outreach campaign, or you can even just send you a Slack notification so you know that you need to reach out to that person, or just be aware that he is visiting your website. In some cases, you can use that if you have a sales process that you order your lead to find some information on your website to check out if they are if they visit your website. For instance, you can create a personalized proposal with your domain and then check out if they visit the proposal, see your proposal, if they share the proposal, and so on. This is
We
another
have
example.
we have a few questions here to make it more dynamic. One
Yeah,
is which Apify actor is this? By Leo Protz.
this Shopify actor is called CSV to dataset. It is an Amplify actor that runs, you can set up to run whenever you want, of course, and you will transform any CSV that you can download from a spreadsheet, for instance, and convert it into a data set that you can bring into Clay. So this is the one, CSV file to dataset. And you will have to pay only for usage. So since you are using it for low volume, I mean, probably you don't even need a paid subscription on Apify to do it. Let's cover questions
mm,
because I think that's the last part.
yeah, there's another one by Christian Giacchini. Is there a way to monitor our own email for triggers? Uh, there are some interesting automatic notifications that could be used.
Yeah,
And Emil's
there is a solution
Albrechts.
called, let me find it. I think it's Kill the Newsletter or something like that you can use. Kill the Newsletter, this one. Let me share my screen a little bit.
Emil's Balsbergs is also responding to this question that you can set up a make.com workflow with a watch emails trigger and filter for keywords. That sounds solid.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. In
We're
this
big
case,
make fans.
yeah. So in this case, Kill the Newsletter will give you the possibility to send any email to a mailbox that you will create with this tool, and it will create you an RSS feed. So you can use that RSS feed to create a new table in Clay just by creating, import, and then click on RSS, and you can pull from RSS whatever RSS that you created here. So you can even create a new table starting from an RSS, going here, and then I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, it's the same process. So if you go to RSS, you can pull the RSS here. So let's say you want to test emails here. You create a feed, and then in your Google inbox, you need to create an automation to resend any emails that you want to monitor to this mailbox. So every time a new email impact this mailbox, will create a new RSS record for you to monitor using this this URL. It's just as easy as this process.
We have more
Okay,
questions.
let's go. Let's go for the questions.
Correct. So Doug Shankman is asking about fundraising sources that you could leverage. I guess. What's the name? Forgot the name. What is a fundraising source, David? Help me out.
Apollo, you can use Apollo, you can use Crunchbase.
Crunchbase. Crunchbase. Thank you.
Yeah,
Owler.
they're saying
That's
Owler.
another
Owler
one.
is really effective as well. In order to monitor that, you can also use specialized blogs. For instance, you can use Y Combinator's blog, or you can use any other accelerator blogs, and be able to identify when they publish about new companies that they invest on. And that's really powerful as well.
That's also for merge and acquisitions. The RSS feeds of like niche, very specific niche blogs work really well as well. Um,
Yeah, totally, totally. Do you have any other questions?
yes, there are some more. How about ad spend? I'm not sure what's the question there, but I guess figuring out what's the ad spend of the companies.
I'm not sure if you are able to scrape that. Probably you can infer that by the amount of time they have this ad published, or by the amount of ads they have published. So, and you can scrape that using Apify for linking ads
Yeah, it's like an
for sure.
indirect infer, basically. What else?
Yeah.
What else? What else? Plagent for fundraising sources. I mean, running Google searches, I guess. Wow, what is that message? There's a full prompt over there.
Okay,
What
I love
else?
it. I love it. You're crazy guys.
Uh, uh, I'm gonna share the Trigify discount. It is ARO10. One second. I wanna share it here.
Can we access a list of trigger? Of course. So uh, just to finish it and give you a wrap up of this workshop, start always with a single high value trigger rather than multiple triggers, and then increase the complexity over time. Begin with public triggers that are easier to detect. Don't start with complex triggers because you will get overwhelmed and probably you won't get results fast. Integrate tools that you already know and you're already using. For instance, Clay had a lot of triggers that you can integrate it in no second. A/B test triggers versus no triggers to be able to assess if a trigger works for you or not. And obviously, continuously refine your triggers criteria based on the response you get. So, those are some takeaways that you get from today's workshop. But also, we have a bonus for you. We'll send you the first chapter of our Clay Hacker Playbook, so you can also understand how to use Clay. And we'll give you the recording of this workshop and the notes from this workshop, and the list of triggers. That's also relevant. I would send it.
I have it here. I mean, you mean the 100 triggers based workflow ideas from Apify and Phantom Master? Is that the
Yeah,
one?
that's a cool one. Yeah.
Okay, I'll
Uh,
share it.
Finally, you like to learn more? You have any other topic that you want to learn? Uh, we'll be hosting these workshops weekly, so please join us the next one every week at the same time, the same day. And of course, you are even invited to join our Slack community. And if you want to learn in a personalized way, we have our Clay coaching program. So just reach out to us. We're happy to help you speed up your learning process in just 6 weeks.
Yeah, and also use the Slack community to ask your questions, but also to share your small wins. We want to make this a very powerful GTM and RevOps community where we give and also get value. So, so yeah, most welcome to join. Thank you for joining today. It was amazing. We really enjoyed it. So yeah, let's be in touch and see you next week.
All
All
right.
right.
See you guys. Bye bye.